The Gorosei are all confirmed to have Yokai Devil Fruit. For those of you who don't know, Yokai is a Japanese word often used to describe things such as ghosts, demons, monsters, and other kind of supernatural beings. Although there's still a lot for us to uncover, let's take a deep dive into the mysterious Yokai transformations of the Gorosei, discussing everything from appearance to origins and even potential powers. Let's start off with Saint J. Garcia Saturn. We knew he had the Ushi Oni Yokai, also known as the Yuki, and this was given due to its appearance, which boasts a spider-like lower half paired with an ox-like upper body. According to legends, the Yuki is mainly found near coastal areas and would terrorize travelers and fishermen. This also makes sense within the One Piece world, considering it's a show about pirates traveling the seas. This yokai is also said to be associated with curses and tragedies, since encounters with it typically result in sickness or death. Could this possibly be foreshadowing something? Maybe it's too soon to say. In terms of powers and abilities, the Ushi Oni is said to have poisonous attacks which it spits at its targets. And we've seen this in Saturn's fight against Luffy, where he spat some poisonous balls that Luffy hit a home run with. Yukis are also known to have terrain manipulation and shape-shifting abilities. Although we have yet to see these in action, Saturn did have a few abilities not listed in any articles I've read. For one, he had this ability that would headshot someone and knock them out completely, which we've seen him use on some fodder marines and even Sanji. He was also able to freeze people in place, preventing them from moving whatsoever. And on top of all of that, he seems to be immortal since he regenerates from pretty much everything and anything. Saint Marcus Mars is next on our list, and his Devil Fruit is that of the Itsumade. The Itsumade is a gross combination of a human, snake, and bird. It has a pointy beak, wings, and even claws like a bird, but has a snake-like body. It is said that the Itsumade would appear in times of trouble such as plagues and natural disasters, and it would fly in circles over the affected area and prey on the weak or the dead. Apparently, it was given the name Itsumade due to its terrifying and eerie cry, where it would say Itsumademo, which translates to until when. This is a reference to it waiting for its prey to die off. Quite creepy if you ask me. In one legend, during a plague in the year 1334, the Itsumade suddenly appeared only to have been defeated by a skilled archer who was later renowned as a famous and brave warrior. Now, we might not have an archer on the crew, but the closest thing the Straws have to that is a sniper, whose lifelong goal is to become a brave warrior of the sea. Now, is this a coincidence? Probably, but knowing Oda, I wouldn't put anything past him. Now, as far as abilities, I didn't find much we haven't seen from the last chapter, which is flight, obviously because he's a freaking bird. He's also incredibly quick, as we see him blitz all the way up to the Labo phase in the blink of an eye. Moving on, we have Saint Topman Warkuri, and his fruit being that of the Hoki. Now, unlike most of the other yokais on the list, the Hoki is not from Japanese mythology. Rather, it's from Chinese mythology and is also known as the Fengshi. It is depicted as a boar-like monster with two heads. Now, as far as we know, Warkuri in his yokai form only has one head. But hey, never say never, because we have yet to see his rear end. So I mean, who knows, maybe there's another pork head back there. From the chapter, we also see that it has 4 horns, 2 in its mouth and 2 right outside of it. It seems like from the folklore, the Hoki is quite the aggressive and brutal monster, as it would go around destroying villages and farmlands on the countryside. It is also known as the rain deity, as its appearance would bring about rainfall. In terms of ability, not much is stated, but what is there is quite overpowered, since it's said to have the ability to manipulate space and time, as well as travel across realms. Now, I'm gonna go off on a limb here and say Warkuri will probably not have broken abilities like that, because that would cause an extreme power imbalance as far as the One Piece story goes. But one thing that is confirmed though is that he has Conqueror's Haki, which he used in a Screech-like attack. From this, we can infer that the rest of the Gorosei members all probably have Conqueror's Haki as well, and maybe they each have their own unique application of it based on their fruits. In this case, Hoki had the Screech. Other than that, he was also able to turn his 2 tusks into blades, which he used to attack the giants. And lastly, similar to the Itsumade, the Hoki was also taken down by an archer. So who knows, maybe Usopp 1v2 Topman Warkuri and Marcus Mars and takes the W. Next up is my personal favorite Gorosei member, Saint Ethan Boren Nujuro, or as most of us call him, the Gorosei with the sword. He's shown to have the ability of the Bakotsu. The Bakotsu is a horse yokai. It has the appearance of a horse minus the flesh, since it's all bones. According to Japanese mythology, the Bokatsu was created from the bones of a horse that perished in flames, which would explain the fire around it did when he's seen in the chapter. In terms of ability, we know this dude is fast as fuck. We see him blitz across Egghead and destroy all the pacifistas. He also seems to have an ability to freeze his opponents when he slashes through them. This is very similar to what Brook does. Outside of this, we know he's also a formidable swordsman, and even though it's not confirmed, it seems like he might have a black blade, but it's hard to tell based off the manga, as that could simply just be armament haki. Like Topman Warkuri, Nujiro probably also has Conqueror's haki and regeneration like Saturn. He's also only the second Gorosei member that we see use their hybrid form along with Saturn. Nujiro's hybrid form is quite literally that of a centaur's, in the sense that he has the upper body of his human self while he retains the lower body of the horse. Last but not least, we have Saint Shepherd Jupiter and his sandworm Delphoot. And I'm not talking about this worm, I'm talking about this worm. The sandworm is not from any one country's mythology. Rather, it is mentioned across several different folklore and legends worldwide. The use of the word worm in its name points to the possible connection to a legless dragon, as the term often refers to. But rather than a legless dragon, Jupiter, in my opinion, looks more like the worms we see in movies like Dune. But instead of those gross looking mouths, he has normal human-like teeth. As for his abilities, we've already seen him be able to burrow into the ground as you'd expect from a worm. He also seems to be immortal like we've seen from the other Gorosei, along with some insane regeneration, since dude gets cut in half by the giant, yet is still standing like nothing happened. Considering it is a sandworm, maybe it'll have similar abilities to Crocodile Sand Fruit, which would maybe allow him to manipulate and create sand out of thin air, which he could create sandstorms with later on. And that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully now you all are yokai experts. If there's anything I missed, drop a comment letting me know what's up. And if you're new here and enjoyed this video, consider subscribing for more One Piece related content. And until next time, peace.